Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing a February TBR video today, and I'm very excited because I haven't filmed a TBR video in so long, so I figured there was no better way to do it than having you guys choose my TBR. I don't know about you guys, but I am a nosy reader. I love to see what other people are reading, but I equally fear accidentally getting spoiled, so I feel like TBR videos are the best of both worlds because you can find recommendations by someone talking about what's on the back of the book, you get to see what they're reading, but you get no spoilers. I love a good TBR video. For this month's TBR, I posted 6 different Instagram stories and I had you guys blindly vote on them. So we're going to go through all of those and kind of how I paired them together. And then I'm also going to talk about the books that are on my radar outside of the TBR. Like many others, I'm trying to prioritize my physical TBR. I feel like I did a pretty good job about that last year. So I feel like these TBR videos are going to be pretty good because I'm going to be able to choose books from my physical TBR to hopefully read during the month. I tried to pair them up so they had some sense of commonality. The first pair is Thorn and Nightbirds. I've had both of these on my physical TBR for quite a while. Ones that I just picked up at the bookstore because they sounded interesting. They're both YA, and so that was kind of what they had in common because I don't read a ton of YA. So this one is a fantasy romance situation. I think it's more on the fantasy plotline, but we'll see. It's a princess with 2 futures, a destiny all on her own. Princess Illyra is someone that doesn't want to be a part of the royal obligations, and she is betrothed to a foreign prince, and so she has this opportunity when a sorceress robs Illyra of her identity and her role as princess. So Illyra seizes the opportunity to get the heck out and start a new life for herself as a goose girl. I don't know what that is. And then Illyra soon finds that the prince that she was betrothed to is not what she expects. She learns of the new kingdom, the pain, the suffering its people are enduring, and so she has to just figure out what she wants to do, I think, of do I want to pursue this life where I could pretend to never be a princess again, or do I need to kind of go back and use my role to fix things? So that's Thorn. And then Nightbirds. This one is a standalone. I think this one has a second book, but Nightbirds is magic. So it's illegal, of course, for the right price. The wealthy can always partake. We have the Nightbirds that are girls who can gift their rare powers with a kiss. Usually a tight-knit group. This season's Nightbirds couldn't be more different, and so it goes through all the girls. When the Nightbirds find themselves at the heart of a deadly political scheme that shakes the world as they know it, they must put their differences aside and band together to fend off those who would exploit them. There's more in the back, but that's the gist. So I feel like both of these could be good, and I just need to read them. I was interested at one point. I'm interested now. Let's see which one won. It looks like Thorn won. 54% to 46, so very close in rating. This next pair, I'm equally excited as I am nervous. We have Ninth House and Babel. Honestly, they've been on my physical TBR for so long and they are very daunting to me, but I really want to pick them up. So we have Ninth House that is, I believe, an academic setting. It says Galaxy. Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class, raised in the Los Angeles hinterlands by a hippie mom. So she drops out of school early and she ends up at this school. She ends up getting invited. She's still searching for answers. Alex arrives at New Haven, tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret society. I did start this and I just couldn't get into it, but I think I just need to get over that hump and get more familiar with the story, and then I think I'd really enjoy it. This one was a gift by one of my friends that she annotated, and so I'm very excited to read this one. I know that I haven't read anything by R.F. Kuang yet, and I really want to. So it is 1828. Robin Swift, orphaned by Clara in Canton, is brought to London by mysterious Professor Lovell. These are a lot of words. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. That's kind of the journey. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and shadowy Herm Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. This sounds really good. I don't think I ever knew the full plot. Let's see which one won. This one was neck and neck. 51% goes to Ninth House. That's crazy. Only a 3-vote difference. Wow, okay, Ninth House it is. This next duo are all things fantasy retelling. So we have Heart of the Raven Prince and the Shadow Queen. They've both been on my TBR for quite a while, so I'm excited to get to one of them. This is a Snow White retelling. It says, Lorelai, crown princess and fugitive at large, has one mission: kill the wicked queen who took both the Ravenspire throne and the life of her father. In the neighboring kingdom of Elder, when Prince Cole's father and brother are killed by an invading army of ogres. Okay, crazy. The second-born prince is suddenly responsible for saving his homeland, so he needs magic. I think they're gonna work together to achieve their goals. And then we have Heart of the Raven Prince. Such a beautiful cover. It says, a playboy prince in want of a decoy bride, a servant girl desperate for a disguise. So half fae, but he also wants to prove himself as heir. He must marry the princess. Locked in a bargain, Ember must pose as a princess until midnight at the full moon ball. Until then, all she has to do is wear the glamour, pretend to court the prince, and above all else, not fall in love. Okay, let's see which one won. With 67%, Shadow Queen won. I'm very excited to get to this one because I got this one secondhand in Asheville when I was visiting Allie, so I'm excited to read it. These next two books were paired together because I recently bought them both, so I wanted to see which one I should read. We have Shadow Song and A Harvest of Hearts. This one is the second book in a duology following 6 months after Winter Song. To me, the first book could be a standalone, but if you want more, then you pick up this, which I definitely want more. Then we have A Harvest of Hearts. In the beloved tradition of Howl's Moving Castle, a whimsical and unforgettable story of fantastic adventure, common sense, and the power of love to overcome the greatest obstacles. So everyone in Foss Butcher's village knows what happens when the magic workers come. They harvest human hearts to use their spells. That's just how life is in her kingdom. But Foss, plain, clumsy, and practical as a boot, never expected anyone to want hers. When a sorcerer snags a piece of Foss's heart without meaning to, she is furious. So the sorcerer is not what she expects. Petulant, idle, new to his powers, and I think they're going to work together to find a cure. And she accidentally uncovers there's much more to the heart taking and to the magic workers themselves than she could ever have imagined. So I think this is a standalone, which is exciting, and then this is completing a duology, so perfect. 54% Shadow Song. I'm very excited because I am known to start series, duologies, trilogies, whatever, and not continue them. So to complete this month, I feel good. I'm really excited for these next two because it's essentially continuing a series. That's what they had in common. We have The Book of Life, which is the third book in A Discovery of Witches. And I think that this is a trilogy and there's these other kind of spin-off books. And then we have Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, which is the fourth book in the Red Rising saga, but it's essentially the start of the second trilogy. So I'm really excited to get to either of these. With 63%, The Book of Life won. I have been putting this off for far too long. This is just a very dense trilogy, so I feel like I have to be in the mood for it, but the people have spoken. We're reading the third book. For this last pair, it's kind of a stretch, but they both have this sense of mystery, thriller-esque. We have The Other Black Girl and Small Favors. Now, The Other Black Girl is a book that I recently picked up from my local library's bookstore. So we have 26-year-old editorial assistant Nella Rogers is tired of being the only Black employee at Wagner Books. Fed up with the isolation and microaggressions, she is thrilled when Hazel starts working in the cubicle beside hers. They've only just begun comparing natural hair care regimens though when a string of uncomfortable events elevates Hazel to office darling and Nella is left in the dust. As Nella starts to spiral and obsess over the sinister forces at play, she soon realizes there's a lot more at stake than her career. Having joined Wagner Books to honor the legacy of Burning Heart, a novel written and edited by two Black women, she thought this animosity was a relic of the past. Is Nella ready to take on the fight of a new generation? It says the perfect mix of social commentary and fast-paced thriller. We'll see. So then we have Small Favors. We are following Ellery, who lives in a small, isolated town with an impenetrable forest. It has predictable sameness. Her days are filled with tending to her family's beehives, chasing after her sisters, and dreaming of bigger things, while her twin, Samuel, is free to roam as he wishes. Early settlers fought off monstrous creatures in the woods, and whispers that the creatures still exist keep the Downings and their neighbors from venturing too far. When some townfolks go missing on a trip to fetch supplies, a heavy unease settles over the falls. As the seasons change, it's clear that something is terribly wrong. The creatures are real and they're offering to fulfill the residents' deepest desires in return for just a small favor. These seemingly trifling demands, however, hide sinister intentions. Soon, Ellery finds herself in a race against time to stop her small town, her family, and the boy she loves from going up in flames. This sounds so good. So let's see which one won. With 61%, Small Favors won. I'm excited because this is another one that I picked up because I want to get through her backlist, so this is perfect. So those were all the books that were on my Instagram stories. Let's talk about the few that are also on my radar. You guys know I love a good book that makes me think and makes me feel. So this month, I really want to pick up Tuesdays with Morrie. I bought this a few months ago. It's sitting on my TBR waiting for me to read and cry over. I think it's really just a book about life and how the smallest things can make us feel fulfilled in it. So I'm excited to shed some tears. The synopsis is, in the heart of Andalay, the sheltered daughter of a revered lord awaits a magical gift from the fates. All the favored receive one on their 18th birthday, but when Ren's never arrives, her life takes a dramatic turn. Unbeknownst to her, Damien, a cold and hardened thief, has been hired to steal Ren's gift, an enchanted locket, and when he does, he is shocked to discover it contains his photograph. Once opened, the locket sets Ren and Damien on a crash course toward one another, one that reveals hidden truths about the ruthless ways of the upper class. The lords of Andalay rule on borrowed power and will go to any lengths to maintain control. Despite a mutual distrust, Ren and Damien quickly realize that they're more formidable together than apart. With the immortal fates watching their every move, the tenuous allies must navigate a seedy world where the truth can destroy not only their lives but the city itself, all while fighting a temptation that neither understands. Sounds like a classic romantasy that I'm excited to read. The last book I want to talk about is kind of a tease for an upcoming video because I really want to film a Valentine's-esque video, but I don't want to do like reading romance for a week. I kind of want to make it fun, find some unique books to throw in there. So this is kind of a tease. We are going to be reading Love Letters to a Serial Killer. I'm sorry, what? It looks so good. I saw this at Barnes and I really wanted to pick it up. So it says, I didn't plan to fall in love with an accused serial killer. Nevertheless, my wrists and ankles are bound to a chair and I can only blame myself. I strain at the ropes, take a deep breath, and prepare to die. There's more, but that's the top and that's all you need to know. So this is going to be part of a video that I'm very excited about. These are all the books on my February TBR, so let's do a little recap. We have our YA fantasy, Thorn, a dark academia, Ninth House, a fairy tale retelling, The Shadow Queen, a gothic-esque end to a duology, Shadow Song, a witchy end to a trilogy, The Book of Life, a fantasy mystery, Small Favors, a book bound to make me cry, Tuesdays with Morrie, a staple in the romantasy genre, Stolen Midnights, and finally a fun romance book, Love Letters to a Serial Killer. I love the variety we have in here, and I feel like there's a good chance that I could read all of them. I think as I do these TBR videos, I wanted to update on the previous month's TBR to see how we did. I have high hopes for this, but stay tuned for my wrap-up and my March TBR video. Please let me know if there's any of these books that you would really want in a reading vlog, and let me know your highly anticipated read for February. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.